Guarantee you, Mel's talking to Mick about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it is about those two and that with their piece they had to say outside of 68, then yeah, that's what it's about.
What were they saying right now?
When I was out there, they were basically really upset that you didn't allow anybody else out back, Piggy and all of them, and that was the big thing. They basically were saying that if you aren't a part of the 13
Okay,
or a
Layla,
president,
but you'll just scurry outside because this is a really awkward silence. Bye, I love you all.
basically saying that if you weren't a part of 13 or a president, that you were like bottom of the barrel. Full patches were, well, they said full patches were bottom.
Alright. Hey,
Who got? Oh, okay, it's Poppy. Basically, just saying that full patches were bottom of the barrel, and I was like, well, I'm a fucking VP and I'm not even out there, and they're like, yeah, well, exactly. Like, if you're not a president or 13, not really shit. And I'm like, well, no, homie rocked up by himself. I don't think Milo wanted 1,000 people back there when it's one guy. I'm sure if he brought
Yeah.
people, we would have been back there.
just
knows.
don't bring up the 13 shit again, Milo. It's hard because I know Tiki wouldn't set the fuck down.
Yeah, the shit that irritated me is if we all agreed that the 13 can take control of situations in cities so they don't get out of hand, and you can ask Milk, they all immediately started arguing with me over radio about this shit, and that's the only reason I brought it up. Like, and I understand that it was a little bit of a big dick, but in that moment they would not shut the fuck up and let me talk to JJ. I have a previously established relationship. There's a fucking hierarchy in this club, and everybody taking issue with the fucking hierarchy.
Yeah, I have
that they voted on.
Mick and Mel are out there talking about it. I mean, the fact that people don't just because somebody that's a president or a 13 makes a decision, they get all sore about it. Like just like they said, if you're not a president or a 13, like the fuck no, it doesn't matter. Like none of that matters. You know, if just like I told Mel, if you were involved in the original situation, you would know what's going on and why Milo's back there talking to JJ by himself. But nobody knows the real situation. Everybody's just assuming.
Talking out front.
Yep. And literally all I was trying to do was get to the bottom of the situation so that we didn't end up in a fucking war with Sinister when JJ isn't even a part of Sinister. And also clear it up because Candy has every right to hang out with JJ because he's not affiliated with Sinister. And as Asgard, we should not be dictating. So literally, here's how they approached fucking Daisy about this shit. Fucking Parker says, and I quote, "We got to do something about Candy." Who's we? We don't have to do shit about Candy.
Yeah,
that's not our lane.
That's not our lane club anymore.
If she is associating with people from Sinister, that is a point of contention between our support club and us because it puts us at some level of risk. However, Tiggy then proceeds to lie to me.
Oh my god. It's the Nationals, let me suck your dick.
Oh my god, not
Slap the table, talk.
That's what I'm saying.
First off, if y'all had an issue with the national table, y'all should have said something and spoke up more about it when the decisions were made. But just because somebody, a president or a national, makes a decision doesn't mean it's a big dick.
I walked away during the situation from everybody bitching at each other. I was making a joke.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just referring to everybody else that's been bitching about the situation. JJ and Milo have a relationship that, you know, they handled it one-on-one. JJ rolled up by himself. There's no need for 10 people to be standing around 2 people having a conversation when it's just the 2 of them.
Let's just put prospect cuts on. It would be the same.
Why did Homeboy say...
Hang on,
I'm kidding.
okay, listen.
I'm kidding.
I didn't have an issue with it, but it was my problem, right? He said the shit to me, and I can't even go back there. Like, that makes no sense. Plus, he didn't even get the full story.
From what JJ told Milo, what you said was false. So you know, the whole thing's fucked. I watched.
He said, she said.
I watched
That's why I said I was just gonna call it, bro. That's why I said I wasn't even pressed about it. But then everybody was like, nah, fuck it. Let's go rip his fucking bandana, this, that, the third. But then Milo's like, nah, fuck it. I'll just call him up here and I'll have a one-on-one with him. Like,
yeah, that's...
What?
That was... Exactly, that was the right thing to do. Go one-on-one to have a conversation with it. There's no need to go around and rip shit and kill people. Having a one-on-one is perfectly fine.
If he says it's bullshit and he's not hanging with Sinister, if I see him hanging with Sinister, can I
Exactly, that's what I just told fucking Murph that was bitching about it too.
He literally had
Anything
a flag.
outside of
because if
I
I
don't
see
give a
him
fuck
with that
about
flag-
him outside of
if-
this situation.
If I see him with that fucking flag on after him telling Milo that he's not rolling with Sinister, I'ma fuck his shit.
Whatever. I'm referring to this
100%.
current situation. I'm not referring to
Yeah,
outside
no,
of this
you're
situation.
chill. But beyond this situation, if he says that he's not rolling with them, if I see him with the flag on, he's dead.
The issue that I have
Yeah.
is everybody getting
least I'm
so
taking
hot
that
and heavy
flag.
with hierarchy. The hierarchy's there for a reason, and if you guys had a problem with it, should
Yeah,
have spoken
okay.
more about
Can
it.
you put that into words and throw it in a message?
No. The hierarchy's
in full
fine.
patch?
It's when you go slapping your hierarchy
Full
dick
patch.
around that it's not fine.
This is here's
when
my
something
it was
doesn't
a
need to
6
be-
one way half a
Said
dozen
man
the
to
other.
man.
He didn't
That
need
would
10 people
require
running
Tiggy
out
to
back.
have the
Yeah,
fucking
And then
There's only
Tiggy,
maturity of
you know,
this.
tripped
Yeah,
over
he
radio and got
is
mad, so
He's
Milo
a
lacking.
had
hot-headed, lying
only
sack
three
of
of us,
shit, and
there's
he's a fucking child. That is to sum him up. That
ran
is
out
that is
back.
him in a nutshell.
That's potato, tomato. But my thing is like, if it's something that doesn't have to, like, a little situation like this shouldn't have to be taken to the top, you know?
The reason Milo handled it is because the relationship him
I
and
get
JJ
that.
have
I
with
get
each
that.
other.
I get that.
I was
get
in
that.
an organization with him.
That has
like-
nothing to do with this,
I
current
don't-
situation, Tiggy.
Well, neither does him having a relationship with him, bro. You said some shit. Like, what?
God forbid one person has a conversation with one person about something org on org related. I mean, and the whole fucking
Something-
club explodes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, something. Yeah, but the problem is something. You just said it right there. Something.
I
org on
didn't
org.
even
So
want
how
to
is
do
it org-
anything about it.
how-
Milo
how
is the one that
org
brought
on
it up
org
and
when
was
it's
like,
one-on-one, you know what I'm saying?
call him here. Like, he threatened one of
Then it
the
becomes a
he
private
threatened one of the
conversation.
Asgard members. Like, I
And
literally
that's why
have an issue
Milo
with him
asked
saying.
everybody to step away because it became a private conversation.
It shouldn't have to. You just said yourself it's org on org business. So why is it private?
Because that was before we knew he wasn't with Sinister. Like I said, if y'all watched it from the other end, you would know. But instead, y'all just make assumptions and get mad and point fingers.
You just say that. If you watch from the other end, we don't get to watch from the other end. We're not allowed.
I know, but instead, never mind, because this is just never gonna change. Someone's
I'm not
always
fighting
gonna
you,
have an
no,
attitude
no,
with
no,
hierarchy, or
no,
someone's
no,
not gonna be
no,
happy. It's just
I'm not
nonstop lately.
fighting you, but you understand my point, right? You guys can see it from the other side, but when we can't see the other side, it makes it a little difficult.
No, following that.
You get what
point.
I'm saying?
I'm following
You
that.
get what I'm saying?
I'm following that point specifically, but my
Okay,
point is,
you do
I don't
understand that.
understand what everybody's issue with the hierarchy is. Like, it was voted upon, it was set in stone, it's been talked about at 4 to 5 churches.
No.
Like, I'm just not following.
I don't think there is an issue with the hierarchy. I think the hierarchy. I think the problem is this situation happened to work out to be including the hierarchy just because of the situation. I don't think it was intended to, but I think people seen it as, why did this have to get taken way up to the top when it could have been dealt with down here? But I don't think that was on purpose. I think it was just, well, first of all, you weren't in. The way I see it, because the way I see it, it was Tiggy. He said something to Tiggy, which makes it a Victorville problem. Shouldn't have to go right up to national. Right up to the national table, right? It should have stayed as Victorville. Now, I understand that you asked him to deal with it, which I get.
I
Which
didn't
I
even
didn't
have
know
an issue
before,
with it, bro. I
but I
said
get.
something about it because it
only
involved
reason
Candy,
National
and
was
Milo
mentioned
said that it was an
was
issue.
because the comment was, I'm National, I can handle this. Everybody doesn't need to be here for it. It's the only reason National was there. It wasn't like he was trying to big dick
Yeah,
being
and
National.
you can see, yeah, but you can
It's
see
a wording
how
thing.
that
No, for sure,
appears,
But
right?
just because somebody,
And I
you know,
didn't even hear that.
it's just
I didn't
because
even
somebody
hear that on
misconstrues
national, I can
words
deal with
doesn't
it,
mean, you know, everybody has to go pointing fingers and getting so hot and heavy. My point is the hostility, the anger, and the animosity between club because somebody said something they don't like has to stop because it's ridiculous.
Like I said, bro,
But I think that stems
I
from
didn't
the
have
fact
an
that the
issue
club
with what
has
he
to
said
be
to me.
included in more
Milo
things.
turned it into an issue. So
Not everything has to be included as a whole club, though, bro. Just you know,
I know, I understand that, and there's certain situations that shouldn't be, but a little situation like this
did it need to
shouldn't have to get taken to the top.
Shouldn't-
I
no.
get why, because like I said,
all of us
it
standing in
should've
a
been you dealing
circle.
with it.
I
You asked
guarantee
him
you,
to
all
deal
of
with
us
it.
standing in a circle, chirping up JJ about what he said, would have ended a
We
lot
don't have
worse
to
than
talk.
JJ
We don't
pulling
have
away.
to talk. There's a difference between talking and being there.
I understand, but it is what it is. It was a solo one-on-one conversation. It really doesn't need to go as far as it has.